In this video, we're going to cover a single leg RDL with wall smush. So what Nick's done is set up right near a wall where there's a lot of free space. That's one thing you're going to need to make sure of at home, that there's enough free space on the available wall that you can both reach your hand all the way forward and your foot that's on the wall all the way backwards. It's usually going to be about 5 to 6 feet worth of space. Nick's then going to remember all the previous things that we've covered on single leg RDLs, including letting the weight come straight down towards his foot, keeping a good solid hip hinge where his hips sliding back, his knees staying soft, and his weight goes down right over his midfoot. The final component that we're adding in with this single leg wall smush is the idea of Nick's left glute med, the one that's working in this drill, essentially not only holding up his belt line, but also offering pressure of his right thigh into the wall. We want that thigh pressure to be strong, but not too strong, so that we can slide it and create friction throughout the motion. So as Nick starts a rep for us, what we're going to see is Nick's done a great job reaching his front arm long, his back foot behind him, and that as he goes through another rep and does that, we're going to see that fold him through his knee and fold him maximally into his glute for a good contraction. Nick's also done a great job here as he folds one more time, having his hip height gently lower, not by squatting, but by hinging, and then getting tall by the top of each rep to really lock the hip in. Mistakes that we see people make are often related at this stage to what's going on with the wall, where if Nick focuses too much about keeping just one point of contact on the wall, he might lose some of his purchase, and he might lose some of the work that he's getting through his glute. The other thing Nick might find to be a mistake that he's making at home, if Nick, you changed your foot and you moved your foot out about 6 inches away from the wall, the one thing this would show us is that Nick was more leaning on the wall versus standing upright next to it and pushing into it. So if Nick tried a rep like this, what we'd see is that's going to result in this very awkward rep and won't really feel stable. So if you're ever feeling like that, get your feet close to the wall again. Feel like your weight is over your feet and not pre-leaned into the wall. Instead, you're pushing actively into the wall as we rehinge over a stable spring. And then we let that spring go, get tall, and reload to this top position. With the final thing being, we want this knee to not come above hip height, just right up to hip height, because it's more about locking in the stance hip. Perform for the prescribed number of sets and reps.